What's up? I'm Skratch Bastid from Toronto, Canada. Get down! And DJs are not jukeboxes. 3style started in Canada, actually, and it started on the west coast of Canada in BC. And when I heard about it, I was like, it was just a fun thing that they threw as a night to get DJs, a couple different styles of DJs together, and kind of even the playing field. Had to play 3 different styles of music. It was kind of like in the sort of mashup era, and that's when it had started. It sounded like a really cool idea, and I wanted to get involved with it. So the next year that it happened, they decided to do a few more outside of BC, and I wanted to take part in it, but the organizer, Kenny, was like, we want you to be a judge, and we want you to showcase instead to kind of help build the project. And I was like, that sounds great, because honestly, it really fits my style really well, because I come from a battle background, but I play clubs is my main thing, so it's somewhere kind of in between there. It's like showcasing skills in a club environment. And so I've been involved with it for now, I think 9 years. Pretty crazy.
Oh, come on. Hey, Tokyo! Let's go!
I think I've seen it grow, and it gives a stage to DJs that wasn't available before, because I think that more and more it's harder for DJs to showcase their talents because of the changing landscape in technology and production, and whereas a lot of the DJ EDM world is filled with producers and not really DJs doing stuff. It's more producer showcases, what it really is, what they're called, DJs, and some of them DJ and stuff like that. But there are fewer and fewer stages where you can kind of showcase skills. And I think that 3style is a perfect place for that, perfect marriage of club skills and tactical turntable skills. I think our champions have all gone on to do cool stuff. Last year, Bite, shout out ST83, Shintaro, 4 Color Zach, Headspin. Hard went on to do some more like house stuff, but like I think that those guys that we've kind of found have given those guys a cool platform to be recognized worldwide for what they do. And I think that, if anything, that is what I'm most proud of 3style. The main thing I want to come across is just my passion for music. Like, I love music. Like, it is my life. Like, every part of my day has music involved. That's basically how I got into DJing. I was just collecting all the hip hop that I could, and I was buying all these things and making mixtape cassettes and CDs. And then I started buying vinyl because there were certain songs on vinyl that you couldn't get on CD or tape. And once I started buying the vinyl, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, and like kind of play with it a little bit. And then like I saw these videos, like the ITF and the DMC and the Invisible Scratch Pickles, and I was like, and I bought this Turntable Mechanic Workshop VHS by Invisible Scratch Pickles, and that's how I kind of started to learn some of the techniques, combined with the guys that named me Skratch Bastid was these guys from the city, Halifax, where I grew up, that showed me how to do flares and chirps and a couple kind of the fundamental scratches. I'm just super passionate about music as long as I can remember, and that is what I want to come across. And I think that my turntable techniques and scratching is a part of that, because I'm a fan of turntable music too, and I'm a fan of what DJs can do with music. Like, I think it's amazing, like that hip hop DJs or DJs what they've done with just this simple setup, not even like crazy mixers, but just turntables, and how we've made music out of something that already existed as music. We made another layer of the music. I think that's like incredible. It's like the ultimate thing to add as a fan of music. I like that to get back to the core. Well, I am faced with that thought, like, as technology improves and they've got like, Spotify can now kind of like predict what song you might like based on your past likes and stuff like that. Will there ever be a point where it's going to be automated, where someone's going to like figure out exactly who's in the room, and you can check in with your Spotify, and then the device on the wall will figure out exactly what to play for the room? I don't think we'll ever get there, because and this is what I think is important, to always inject the human element into your set. Put your pinky rings up. Put your pinky rings up. Put your It's okay to have little mistakes. It's okay to have something be not exactly line up 8 bars. It's okay for things to kind of to have a little bit of push and pull in your sets, and that's what makes DJs not jukeboxes. It's what makes the split second decision to drop something now or then, or to respond to something that's in the room, or maybe to like an energy that's there. You have to be there in order to respond to that energy. So I challenge DJs to make sure they're aware of that, make sure that you gotta represent, you gotta not be a jukebox, you gotta be in the moment and responding to the crowd. So I think it goes both ways, you know. Sure, DJs aren't jukeboxes, but you gotta make sure they're not jukeboxes. You gotta make sure you're interjecting your own personal style and being in the moment and giving people a response to what they want to hear. And that's why it's cool to prep your sets to a certain degree, but you always gotta leave a little room for taking in the moment. Look out! Look out!